Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Mind Over Chatter podcast. I have been away for a very, very long time because I've been on holiday and I'm busy moving into my new flat, but now I'm back. And I was really ready to record this podcast, and I kid you not, these are the first words I've spoken all day. I literally woke up and I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to record a podcast episode because I feel like I've left it for too long. So that's what I'm doing. And honestly, I would be lying if I said to you that this is the first time I've tried to record a podcast. Because a podcast episode since my holiday has ended. Because a few weeks ago, I did try to record an episode on birthdays, which might be one for the future. But I tried to record that episode and I just found myself thinking whilst I was recording, do I even know what I'm saying? Do people care what I'm talking about? And will anyone miss my podcast if I stop doing it? But then I realized that honestly, that's not the way to look at it. The best way for me to look at it is that I'm doing this for myself because honestly, as I've said before, this is the perfect kind of therapy for me, just talking things through. I guess it is just talking to myself, which maybe I am my best therapist. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But I'm doing this for myself. And if people are getting something good out of it, then I'm also happy. That's an added bonus. But yeah, so I convinced myself to get up and do it this morning. So in light of doing my podcast again, I'm going to be talking about going back to things that you used to do before and starting them again. Wait, that was a really long way of saying I'm talking about starting old things again. I think that makes sense. Yeah, I'll give you an example. For those of you who don't know, I used to do swimming a lot. From when I was in year 2 until I was in year 7. So that was year 2, 3, 4. Sorry, I have to count this. 3, 6, 7. That's 6 years of swimming. Wait, 6? Yeah. My maths is completely failing, but that was 6 years of swim training and competitions, and honestly, when I was in it, I hated it. I hated it. I hated training. I hated going to competitions. I felt nervous all the time, and I used to think that, swimming was the worst thing ever. But recently, as I have moved into my new flat, I found out that there was a swimming pool right next door, and I was like, hang on, maybe if I do swimming on my own terms, it might not be the worst thing, because I do need to get my exercise in, because honestly, I've been the biggest couch potato. I need to get my exercise in. I need to get fit again before I start playing football again. And so I decided to try swimming again. And I'm not gonna lie, the first time I went, I was so nervous. I was like, am I gonna remember how to put on my swimming cap? What if people look at me and they're like, wow, she has no idea how to swim? And what if I'm not as fast as I used to be and my technique is just not as smooth? And I had all of these negative thoughts swirling around my head. But I had to remember that my aim wasn't to become a professional swimmer. My aim was just to go and do some swimming and get myself a bit more healthy. And I kept that in mind, and I just jumped in the pool and I started swimming, and I took breaks whenever I needed to, and I went faster if I thought I could. And honestly, I think it was one of the best decisions I've made, because I realized that I really do love swimming. And it's, I I promise you, I got out of that pool and I was like, wow, I feel like my whole body has done exercise, and that was just amazing. So I was really happy that I got over the initial negativity and just went swimming. I mean, it's never that easy to get over negative feelings. I mean, sometimes it is. But I think, in my opinion, from my experience, the best way to do that, or to get over any like anxiety that you might have before starting something new, is just to not, I mean, yes, you can think about it, but don't spend too much time overthinking it, because then you'll get all of these like worst case scenarios in your head, and it's going to make it even harder to start whatever you want to start. And honestly, when I just got into that pool and I just swam, all of my like anxieties went away. And I was like, yeah, you know what? No one else cares. Everyone else is focused on their own swimming. And I genuinely think that, yeah, you should just do it. I mean, don't let yourself think about it too much, and you should just do it. And most of the time, well, I'd like to think that most of the time you will thank yourself for just doing that. So yeah. So another thing that I'm starting again is going back to uni. And this is my second year. Honestly, I shouldn't be allowed to be at this stage of my life. I feel like I'm 12 on the inside, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, like I feel like I'm stuck in year 8. But anyways, I'm starting uni again. And this time last year, I was pretty nervous. I didn't really, like, I had some friends, but I didn't know that many people on my course. And I was really, like, I was really missing school. And I was not really in the best of places. Like, it was winter time, and I hate the winter. I hate when it gets dark. And all of these, like, things about, like, all of these different factors, like missing school, missing my old friends, the winter time, it was just all, there was just a lot, like, building up. And because of that, I spent a lot of time in my room, and I missed a lot of classes. I'm gonna be totally honest. I missed a lot of classes in that first term. And so now that it's come around to this term again, I think I realized that I need to change the way that I deal with what's ahead of me. So now that I know that last year I struggled so much when it got dark, and I spent so much time in my room by myself with my own thoughts, I think now, reflecting on it, I'm gonna try and spend more time out with my friends and put a lot of good energy into getting myself up in the mornings and going for class and paying attention and learning new things, because I do love learning, and I love, like, learning new information and being like, oh yeah, I know this, I'm super smart. Like, I love that feeling. And so I'm gonna focus on all the positives that I get out of the day rather than all the negatives. And I think also I'm gonna try to be more aware of when I start getting into those negative spirals. I think I let myself really, like, go down these, like, black holes last year. And I think if I notice myself doing that, I'm gonna tell people. I'm gonna be super honest about it, because I think for me personally, that's the best way that I deal with it. So yeah, I'm gonna reflect on the things I did not so well last year and try and change that for this year. And honestly, I think I'm doing a pretty good job. I mean, I've only had one day of class. Today is my second day. But I got up in the morning, I walked to class, I had a good class, I walked back, I went swimming. It was brilliant. It was a good day, and I felt so productive. So I'm gonna hang on to that feeling, and I'm gonna try and feel that feeling every day. And I have to remember that if I don't feel that feeling every day, then that's okay, because you are allowed off days. Everyone is allowed a day, like every so often, where they're just like, you know what, I'm just like not in the right space, or my body's not feeling it, and I'm not up to having a brilliant day. And that is okay. You have to be kind to yourself and let yourself have those off days. Also, it's really important for your body not to be like on and ticking all the time. So yeah, let yourself have those off days. And there was something else I'm starting again. Oh yes, football. But I'm so excited because I'm going to be a co-captain this year, and I'm so excited to lead a team. But honestly, like in terms of the admin stuff, I'm a bit clueless. So I need to like figure that stuff out before the season actually starts. But don't worry guys, I'll get to that. But what I wanted to say is that starting new things again can be super daunting, and you can feel super anxious in the lead up to it. But the way to deal with it that I found works most effectively for me is to be aware of those feelings and really know what went wrong last time, or what made you feel not so good about it the last time, and use your energy to sort of make sure, or try to make sure, that those same things don't happen again. But sit with those feelings for a while, and then just go and do the thing. Just go and do it, and maybe you'll realize that you were just overthinking things, and that you do enjoy what you're doing, and you are getting good out of it for yourself. And I guess at the end of the day, you shouldn't be doing things that make you feel bad. Yeah, that's it. That's all I wanted to say in this episode. But of course, you know that we can't finish an episode without a joke. So here is one that I found quite funny. Why is Peter Pan always flying? Why, Rhea? Because he never lands. I can hear the crickets. Anyways, that was it. And if you made it this far, I love you. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time. Bye.